While recording and sharing my content didn't go quite as I planned for this summer, I didn't want to not share the content that I do have. So let's do a quick summer recap. That's a paste tomato. While a lot of things didn't go as planned, the cucumbers definitely did. We had so many pickling cucumbers, and I loved the format of planting them in this raised bed with a trellis for them to climb. Oodles and oodles of cucumbers. These are a serrano pepper. My bell peppers are in there. This is a yellow tomato, yellow brandywine, I believe. With all of this good rain, well, those in the middle are Anaheim, yeah. The bells are on the outside. I picked a few the other day, so there's not that many in here. I do see some on the other side. I just gotta get to them. The crepe myrtles are sagging, being in full bloom. Plus the rain. Here we go. Look at that. Well, it got away from me. That's a good one. These are pineapple tomatoes. I was most excited to grow those this year. Hopefully they'll turn and we'll get to try them out soon. So we've had a good week and a half maybe break of having to do watering, which has been lovely. It was almost like I got a vacation. But we are back at it. I had some things sitting outside of the greenhouse that I thought were okay. I hadn't checked on them in the last few days because we'd had so much rain, and then I go look and I think all of my baby tomato plants are just done. I don't think they're gonna make it. They were dried up and just burn over. And I had them sitting, I mean, they were outside the greenhouse, but they were in like partial shade. We live and we learn. Also, in like all this rain, this tomato plant like flopped. So I am picking off all these bad ones to give to the chickens because waste not, want not. I have a connection in the mountains and was able to get some peaches. So we enjoyed those fresh, as well as freezing up sheet pans of the slices to bag up to use for later, you know, smoothies, cobblers, whatever. They're so yummy. Our paste tomatoes are still delivering. We had a bountiful week of rain, so a lot of them are trying to split. So we came out trying to stay on top of it. And then there's more rain coming later this week, so I'm hoping that some more of these are going to turn. The tomatoes that I haven't been able to use yet, I froze a bunch of them yesterday, and so later we'll make sauce or something with them, but they're in the freezer waiting to be processed. So I'm grateful that the bounty is coming in despite it being such a hot and dry summer. I usually offer photo sessions with the sunflower field, but the blooms and flowers this year came in so short, so I wasn't able to do photos. Been canning potatoes. I do some that are diced. Basically those are intended to be fried. And then I did some of the smaller ones like this that I'll put over in the pot with green beans. I hope to do some more like this in another batch. While this garden space did really well, the lower back garden spaces did not. Our corn didn't come up, our sweet potatoes got eaten up by the deer, and our potato yield was not what we expected at all. Lack of rain, hogweed trying to take over, but despite the challenges, I just kept pushing forward. All of this is just kind of grown together. Ugh, this tomato is really big. That's a brandywine yellow tomato that I started later, so it is not produced any tomatoes yet, but I do see blooms. Okay, so we just got through tropical whatever Debbie, and so I've got a lot of stuff blown over. But we're gonna pick some of these peppers, get in here the best that we can. It is always so easy to get around this box until the crepe myrtles are going, and they have peaked, and the rain and that storm has just made them really heavy, so they're hanging down and making it harder for me to get over in here. But we will do the best that we can. Sometimes I'll leave them on here trying to get some size out of them, and then I end up with this. So, and then other times, being patient and waiting for size works out really well. But regardless, we're grateful for the harvest. What are y'all doing? What are you doing, Brownie? What are you doing? Jealous Jada. So the pineapple tomato is finally delivering. Not getting quite the color out of the ones in the catalog, but there is some color there. And hopefully that one won't bust. I had several busts from the Debbie rain. So today I am working on canning homemade rotel, or like homemade diced peppers and tomatoes. Last year I canned these on a whim. Like, we had so many tomatoes, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna try to do rotel. And so I look it up, and people have tried it before, obviously, and so I checked like the spices that I would need to add, and just whipped up a quick batch, and it was literally my favorite thing that I canned last year. No, I am not using paste tomatoes for this. I am using what I have. Well, there may be a few paste tomatoes that end up in here, but just using what I have. just dicing them up, and then I am putting them in here so that I can measure how many cups that I end up with, so that I can best determine the tomato to pepper ratio for the best flavor to come out of this. I was just telling the kids that I don't know how anybody who has kids YouTubes, because like I get interrupted so many times and the audio is going to be affected because of said interruptions or craziness going on in the background. So I have recorded several clips here, and the final product just may end up with some background interference. What can you do? Got this going. Y'all, it is going to be so beautiful. I had some yellow tomatoes to use too. I'm so excited about this. Then we're gonna jar it up and get it in the canner. One of the things I absolutely love about gardening season is when I'm making something and I need something, I can walk outside and pick it. I'm making round 2 of the Rotel tomatoes, and I'm headed out to pick more peppers. I love this space. I'm gonna miss it so much when the season is over. Here we are. I can reach over here. There's that shovel I've been looking for. There we go. And round 2 doesn't have any yellow tomatoes in it, so much more red in this batch, like normal Rotel. But I did like the way the yellow tomatoes looked in it too. These, y'all, are just lovely. I feel like the video doesn't even capture the actual color that these are. So I picked today to pull my carrots. I don't normally do carrots. So I normally don't grow carrots, and that's probably not going to change. I just don't get a good yield, and even when I thin them, they tend to stay small. I have like 2 big ones right here, and the rest are small. I did have them in a raised bed where they had that loose soil where they could grow down in well, and I enjoyed some of the flowers. But y'all, I don't do much with carrots, and I'm kind of jealous of the people who can like have this abundant carrot harvest, because they are a root vegetable that you can overwinter really well. So I am open to any tips and suggestions on rocking it out growing carrots. Our next video will share the content I got moving into fall and the different things that we put away and preserved for that. And unfortunately, the bugs killed all of this butternut squash, and it was a very sad time.